In this video, we are going to talk about Pengu or pudgy penguins, some of its recent price action, the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of Pengu to go in the next few days and weeks. So let's look at the weekly chart, and what we can see here is that Pengu has been dumping by an absolutely insane amount since about July. Pengu went down from about 4.5 cents all the way down to about 1 cent right now, and it also broke down below this crucial support area that is this trend line. So can Pengu still get a recovery from here, and where can we expect it to go? As you can see right here, in the last couple of weeks it was actually looking like Pengu may be starting a reversal. We've seen Bitcoin do pretty well, going from about 80k to over 90k to about 94k, and Pengu followed it pretty well, going from about 1 cent all the way up to 1.3 cent, so more than a 30% gain for Pengu in just a few weeks. But as I said in a previous video, Pengu didn't really hit any significant support areas, so that rally was really just reliant on Bitcoin getting a rally, and it wasn't that convincing. In my opinion, the next crucial support area for Pengu would be this low from June at about 0.84 cents. So this rally starting at about 1 cent was not very likely to be strong and sustainable, and we can see that this rally eventually failed, and Pengu is now all the way back down at 1 cent. We've also seen Bitcoin starting to get a slight dump. It's now at slightly below 90k, and Pengu very quickly followed it. And generally, with such a small market cap meme coin, when we have a period of a lot of fear in the market like we have right now, because there is a lot of concern about the bear market, as it already started or not is uncertain, but a lot of people think that it did, and there is a lot of fear in the market, with Bitcoin dropping from 126k all the way down to 80k. So in this type of period in the market, a coin like Pengu is very unlikely to do very well compared to Bitcoin, especially if Bitcoin dumps. Then these fragile coins tend to dump a lot more, and even if Bitcoin consolidates or starts to get a slight pump, this type of small market cap altcoins usually still don't do very well. And for this type of altcoins and for meme coins to start actually doing very well, we would need to first see a much better sentiment in the crypto market, with Bitcoin heading significantly higher, getting a parabolic move, followed by Ethereum approaching new all-time highs, and we would need a period of euphoria and an alt season. Meme coins tend to do very poorly in times of fear in the market like we are in right now. So my base case for Pengu would be that it continues dropping at least to the next support area that I talked about at this low from June, and whether it gets a bounce from there and manages to hold it really relies on Bitcoin, in my opinion. If Bitcoin continues consolidating or even dumping, then Pengu will likely also lose this low and head even lower. Then the next support area would be all the way down in the low from April at about 0.4 cents. But if Pengu heads all the way down to this low from June, and at a similar time Bitcoin starts getting a rally and heads over 100k, then Pengu has a very good chance of actually getting an explosive rally. And then if we actually see Ethereum following it and we get an alt season, then Pengu could actually get a very significant rally all the way up to the trend line. And then if the alt season is really explosive and there is a lot of euphoria in the market, then it could even break above this trend line and head up to the previous all-time highs. We can see that Pengu basically got rejected twice at the exact same level of about 4.5 cents, and a double top is usually a very bad sign, and as you can see, it very clearly led to an absolutely devastating dump for Pengu. My base case at the moment would be that Bitcoin does get a rally to over 100k sometime in the next few months, but whether it happens anytime soon or it takes a few more months is completely uncertain. But I do think that even if we are in a bear market, Bitcoin will head back above 100k sometime relatively soon and create a macro lower high. But if that is the case and it is only a lower high for Bitcoin and we are entering a bear market, then Pengu will likely not get a very significant rally heading to new all-time highs, and it will probably stop at a resistance area before that. This would lead to it stopping at about 2 cents. And if Bitcoin continues dumping and heads all the way down to the all-time low and potentially even below that, then that will basically be it for Pengu, and we will most likely not even see a recovery for Pengu in years. But it's not all doom and gloom for Pengu. I still think that there is a very good chance that it will actually get a bounce from here if Bitcoin does do well, and I think that's actually pretty likely to happen. But at the moment, I do think that it will continue dumping at least to the low from June. This would be a dump of about 15 to 20% from where Pengu is at right now, and the structure of Pengu is still looking pretty weak in my opinion. So of course, this is not financial advice whatsoever, but I would personally avoid Pengu at the moment, and I would also generally avoid most low market cap altcoins and meme coins right now. That's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you want more updates about Pengu as well as other altcoins, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.